Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of Mind Afloat with me, Pablo MC. I hope you're well. I hope you're good. I'm doing amazing. It is the end of March. Can you believe it? The first quarter of 2025 gone just like that. I hope you've been doing well. I hope you've started forming some good habits for yourself that you can be proud of when we finish the very final quarter of this year, the fourth quarter. So one down, three more to go. You still have this year ahead of ahead of you. You still have many months ahead of you to do exactly what you aspire to do for the year 2025. Welcome to it. It is so good to be here. Oh my goodness, guys, we're still here. We're still alive. We still have the opportunity to make our dreams come true. Yeah, some of us are making our dreams come true with an impromptu podcast mic. Do you see my mic on a mini stand over here? I love it. But it was just, I felt like I was not getting good audio when my mic is always sitting here. But it's so good to see you. The topic for this week is stress can cause damage that leads to premature death. Stress can cause damage that leads to premature death. Guys, like I always say, death is inevitable, but like premature death, like if you've got plans and you've got a family and you just still want to be around, it would be very important to watch out for the impact of stress. I think many of us who are young actually take for granted the negative effect that stress has on our health. And this week, I really wanted to just highlight that. So I'm not going to really be talking about the different types of stress-related diseases in detail. You may definitely read up on that, but I just want us to actually speak about it. Have you paid attention to just how unwell you are after experiencing a long term of thinking negatively? I think it's called chronic stress, yes. So we say we function well under pressure. We when I'm stressed, I do better. I've heard people say, when I'm stressed, I do better. And I think especially when we are studying, or maybe when we've got work pressure, when I'm stressed, I actually do this work. But guys, I think we downplay the negative effect that type of attitude or that type of thinking actually has on our bodies. These very important things that we've got to carry out the lives that we truly aspire to carry out. I do not think stress is something we should be proud of carrying with us every single moment, every single day. I think we need to be careful. I think we need to be careful of this thing. I function well under pressure. I function well under stress. I do my work under stress. I finish it. That is not healthy. You need to start living your life in a way that's just relaxed, calm down, achieve goals, set goals, have things to do, attain things, but do not attach yourself to stress if you have not then achieved a certain thing. Do not succumb, but do not allow yourself to just perpetually be living. Like perpetually. Sometimes I like to use big English, but I get it perpetually. Continuously every day of the week actually is it's the way it is. It must be full of stress just because you're going to work. Guys, that is not life. You're not here to be stressed. You're here to be successful. Yes, those of us who want to be successful, you're here to be happy. You're here to be at peace. On top of building your career, on top of running your family, on top of running or having children, on top of having extended family members and having parents and having in laws, you are supposed to actually handle all these pieces of your life that are good to you in a very peaceful manner. Do not tell yourself because there is so much to juggle in life and because we have communities, we have colleagues, we have work goals, we have work KPIs. There's always a to-do list. Hey guys, exercise. Hey guys, let's take care of our bodies. Hey guys, maybe let's lose a little bit of weight. Don't be then partaking in all of these things in a way or in a method that results you being stressed at the end of the week. Do not do that. Pull back, take time, find out how your mind can attain all these bits and pieces of lives and goals, of your life and goals, and like financial goals, savings, all these things that you want to do, house renovations. Yeah, house renovations is what I want to do. But just find a spot or a place in your life or in your mind that allows you to achieve all these nice things that you want to achieve without causing your body disease, without causing your mind disease. Stress can cause you disease that can end your life prematurely. Be aware of that. And every time, so for me, when stress actually comes for me, I get a headache. That's how I know now. This headache, so my headache, I always know it's just attached to thinking about one thing for too long and in a negative manner. Like it's this thing is not a kind of like to the cortisol. It takes the cortisol too high or something. Guys, I'm using medical terms now, but I think I've heard of cortisol somewhere. But yeah, the high blood pressure. Like I used to think Lojoki for people who are aged and whatnot. No, guys, if you're not regulating the balance with which your body is actually functioning and the blood flow going to all the organs of your life in a balanced, or of your body in a balanced manner, you are actually building disease in your body if you're not allowing it to operate at a proper healthy flow. This thing of too high or too low, guys, let's be careful. We will die young. Do not run your life on high pressure. Okay, it's important, I mean, to be competitive. It's important to achieve a goal. It's important to actually achieve your to-do list at the end of the day. It's great, and but it can get healthy type of stress. That type of stress, it's good for you. It has you doing things, set your things, and be like, okay, cool. I wanted to do this. I wanted to do that, but don't have yourself having a negative relationship with your goals. That will not do you any good. As a matter of fact, it will cause you stress related disease that may cause you premature death. The first question, okay, I've already started talking about. The first question is, are you aware of how much stress actually affects your health? Are you aware? And if you are not, I think you maybe must start reading about it. And I mean, if you are old enough, like some of us who have actually been going through life, we are aware, but no, man. Stress actually caused me to, it actually paralyzes me at some point. Stress gives me a headache. Stress causes me to not move, like I always talk about. Or sometimes people just want to stay in bed. Stress gives people anxiety, depression. Stress actually causes people to not eat well. And obviously, the truth of the matter is, if you eat terribly, you eventually may get sick, right? So, already, like, these are tangible things that you can see. What stress can cause you illness, even when you're looking at it. And the type of stress related diseases that you can't see is these ones that I'm referring to, where eventually you're like, now I've got a headache, So you didn't even see yourself building up this amount of stress because you're just thinking and thinking about something. So for me, I had a very, I had a hectic March. I had a hectic March. I think they do say that the time for business owners and somebody who's building something, where sometimes it's also do or die and stuff. It's around the 90-day period where you have to be holding on to this habit. You have to be holding on to this consistency around 90 days since starting it. You have to be holding on to writing proposals. You have to keeping on. And I think I definitely felt it around March, where I'm just like, oh my goodness, why does it feel like I'm losing the momentum for what I'm doing? And in the final week of March, oh my goodness, let me tell you, human beings, it's almost like they put the nail in the coffin. They completely depleted me. God, I found myself questioning me. Be aware when people or things are actually happening in your life. This thing is affecting me negatively. Have you actually built up a system that allows you to defend yourself against a person who actually affects you negatively? Have you started learning to build healthy boundaries? Have you started learning to remove yourself from environments that are actually not good for you? I know some of us, we don't know boundaries, and I'm only learning that now in adulthood. And never mind learning it, I'm still so far from it. It's like I cannot say no when I actually wish I had said no, and then I just do that thing, and then I'm like, why did I do that thing? I mean, I feel used in that particular situation. I feel used by this person. That thing did not serve me in any way, did not give me any type of joy in doing it, but I said yes. So why do I do that? And who do I think will protect me if I do not defend myself against certain things or certain people? And generally, then I build up some sort of resentment. I don't know if I'm building up resentment against myself or resentment against people, but I think right now I've reached that point where I realize, oh man, this resentment that I have that has me thinking, why did I do this? Why did I say yes to that? But it's actually with myself, because now as an adult, I think I'm starting to question, why did I say yes when I actually wanted to say no? Why do we say yes when we wanted to say no? I know most of us, we did not grow up with a healthy sense of boundaries. So we then end up becoming people pleasers. Rebo, yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. Even to our own detriment, where you are like, you know what? Becky did not leave me feeling good. Why did I go to that place? Peer pressure. We think peer pressure ends in teenagehood. Guys, it does not. Even adults, I think we actually succumb to peer pressure. And then, as in adulthood, then we beat ourselves up more for it. And then I'm sitting there thinking about it for too long. Then it's causing me these toxic, sad emotions. And then I am actually building up disease without knowing it in my system. So it's very important that we start having a healthy relationship with saying no. Guys, I know we need community. We are human beings. We need friends. We need colleagues. We need acquaintances. We need family. We need extended family members. We need spouses. We need our children. But we also need ourselves. Do not in the name of building community, sell yourself short, sell your own health short. Be careful of the serious effects of always saying yes to everyone at every moment, and then in not being aware, or but actually this thing, if it keeps on eating away at me, I'm actually building up disease in my body, and I could die sooner than I should. And then, but what killed such a healthy young person? What caused depression on such a healthy young person? What caused this person to completely break down? It's because we don't know when to say no. And you know what? Not that I'm saying, or you need to just be saying no to everyone about everything. No, guys, we need community. We are because of other people. People have helped us to get where we are. People have said yes to us. But please remember to learn to be good to yourself in such a way that you can be good to others. Remember to have a healthy relationship with yourself in such a way that you can have a healthy relationship with others. Remember to learn to give yourself grace, so that even when you're saying no to people, you can then say it gracefully in a way that does not necessarily leave everyone around you hurt or feeling like, oh my goodness, this person does not like us, maybe as colleagues. This person does not like us as her in-laws. This person does not like us as acquaintances. Just as a person, I mean, have humility. You are a human being after all. Have humility in the way that you go about life, but do not sacrifice yourself with the idea, or no, I don't want people disliking me. Do not sacrifice your life. Do not sacrifice your health. Do not sacrifice your mental wellness. Do not sacrifice your time. You have things to do as well. Pay attention when somebody is using you. Pay attention when somebody does not have your best interests at heart. Pay attention to the people that you owe no explanation to. Pay attention to circumstances and situations and days and times that you do not need to explain yourself to. Go nele some no's that do not have to be accompanied by an explanation, and go nele some no's that you know what, I value the relationship that I've got with this person. I feel like I can take some time to explain to them why I'm saying I'm not going to do this thing. And then one of the times when it's a no. It's just a no. A no must be a no because it's not good for you. Because when I was born, I don't like doing that thing. That thing ends up making me feel this way. I'm grown enough to know the things that actually leave me with negative emotions. I'm grown and self aware enough to know when something is going to leave me questioning myself. So with me, what happens is I just say yes sometimes, right? And then this resentment builds up. And then eventually, when I want to maybe confront this person, then it becomes a verbal fight with a person that I care about. It becomes a verbal fight and whatnot because I am, if there's a way that I know how to defend myself, it's like I just want to fight verbally at the time where I feel like you're coming for me and I need to be defending myself. The response is I want to fight verbally. I do not have a healthy relationship with saying no in a healthy manner. And that is what I need to learn. I'm aware of my weakness in that regard. Or I must be okay with saying no. And if people maybe dislike me because I say no, if somebody then decides, Babalo is not a nice person, if somebody decides I don't want to be around that person, if somebody decides that's not a nice colleague, that's not a nice friend, that's not a nice family member, that's okay as long as I'm comfortable with why I said no at that point in time. As long as I am comfortable with my reasons and I can live with the way I spoke or responded to you in a healthy manner, then I'm okay with that. But I realize that because I don't generally respond in a healthy manner, I then question, like, do people think I'm harsh? Did the bystanders who saw that do they now fear me? Because I get very strong verbally when I get upset. I just get very strong. So now I'm like, do people fear me? Do people think I'm just harsh? Do people think I'm verbally like abusive or not abusive? I mean, I'll never come for you when you are not in my bubble. But the moment you are in my bubble, it's like I become unstoppable verbally. And when there's bystanders and people observing this, and after I've had this verbal exchange with a person or whatnot, I then sit and reflect because this thing has now happened, right? Then I'm home, then I'm like, people saw me do that. People heard me say that. Do they think I'm a terrible person? Will they not want to create community with me? Will people feel, or why do we actually like surround ourselves with this person? She's so mean. She's so what, you know? Um, then I beat myself up for it. And then I think about, oh my goodness, Bobby, you're not a nice person, Bobby. You should have handled that differently. You shouldn't have done this. You probably should have taken a day. You know, all the things where I'm like, okay, in a healthy manner, in a good way, this is how that thing should have actually been handled. And I have not arrived there yet, unfortunately for me, where I know how to actually take a moment, think, and say, no, actually, I'm not going to do that. That is not something I want to spend my time doing. Oh, I understand. And then I sit and beat myself up about it. And then I realize the negative effects of sitting and thinking about myself negatively. Then I get a headache at the end of the week. I get a terrible headache. Then I realize, well, it's not worth it, guys. It's not worth it. So what all it's going to be, the conclusion really for me now, after all of this is said and done is, but you're going to need to face this thing called boundaries. You're going to need to honestly and in an adult manner face this thing called saying no in a very okay manner. And be okay if people then say, okay, I'm cutting this person off. Be okay with people saying, I actually dislike Patty because she said no once upon. Be okay, own it. Understand it. Like, then be at peace. That, yes, no, I remember I said no to this person and they decided, okay, cool, they no longer like me. I can can live with that. But I think I'm now struggling with, obviously, if a person feels that actually they dislike me because I'm so harsh with my words and I lash out and I scream and whatnot, I can understand why I can't live with that, because I don't think that is the type of way I want to communicate with fellow human beings. So my homework for, I think, this coming season, for the coming month, the way I struggled with just a lot emotionally this month. I think in this month of March, I think my next homework for me on the thing to work on is saying no to going to certain environments where I actually feel what I no longer belong. Guys, it's okay if you no longer belong around certain people. It's okay if you no longer belong around certain environments because you've been there for too long. It's okay if you no longer belong with certain family members because maybe you've just outgrown each other. It is okay. We grow, we become different human beings, and we learn certain mannerisms that we feel, well, now this is the way I behave, this is the way you continue behave, and I actually do not want to be around that anymore. And it's also okay if you don't like this version of me as well. It is okay to detach ourselves from ways of life, from people where we feel, well, actually I have seriously outgrown this way that you and I talk. I have seriously outgrown this way that you and I interact. I've seriously outgrown how this environment actually makes me feel. I've outgrown how this space makes me feel. I've outgrown the conversations that you and I talk about. I've outgrown the way that I treat myself. It is okay to learn new ways of behaving in a way that you feel, well, you know what, this way will make me feel better with life. This way, and you know what, guys, we can create new communities as well. I think we are obviously afraid, Nagomo, to say, you know what, I don't like to be around this person anymore. I don't like what, because then we wonder, worry, how am I going to fill this person's gap? Because when people cut you off, right, or when you cut people off, you do miss them, right? And now you're left with a gap. That's what happens literally. When you cut friends off or they cut you off, you are left with a gap where they used to fill that gap. And then I think in adulthood, many people talk about it, but it's very difficult to create new communities, new friendships, new acquaintances, just new people to build a new life with. Maybe sometimes, guys, as we are transitioning into our new lives, it's okay to also realize what it's going to mean. We are going to lose some people, and therefore, we are going to then need to build a new community, and it's difficult. It's difficult to put yourself out there. It's difficult to think. Oh, I'm actually getting emotional. It's difficult to, and guys, I'm a very social person, so it's not difficult for me to actually really make friends, but it's difficult to put yourself out there, to reach out to people, the types of people that you like and that you know will probably like you back. It's difficult. Okay, I have collected myself towards myself. In conclusion, let us be good to ourselves so that we can be good to other people. Let us create a healthy community with ourselves so that we can be better community members to those we are a community to. Let us have healthy relationships with boundaries so that we don't allow anyone to abuse us in a way where they think we cannot see that this person is actually abusing me, this person is using me. I mean, when I talk abuse in the sense, I'm not talking about physical abuse, and unfortunately, people do go through that. And those people also see when they're being abused, of course, and remove themselves from those situations. But those of us who struggle to see when a person is actually abusing you psychologically, for those of us, may we be better at being aware and speaking up for ourselves. May we build a life and spaces for ourselves and communities and reach out to human beings who are indeed like minded, who will be a safe space for us. I think because I am quite a social person, my lesson for me now each other and go out for drinks. Maybe that's not how I need to be building my community going further or into my future. I need to be even further intentional. Are we aligned, me and this person? Because now going within, it might just go haywire in the future because we don't want the same things, we don't aspire for the same things, and then we might end up maybe just discouraging each other. But may we be able to protect ourselves very well from people who are not good for us. Maybe be intentional. Maybe not be cowards towards protecting. Maybe not be cowards when it comes to protecting our psychological wellness. May people not take over our month, our week, our day. May we understand what we need this armor called boundaries against people who disrespect us, who undermine us and our time and our skills and our just our purpose in what we wake up to do. May we be aware of those people and may we be able to stand up for ourselves against them. Okay, keep well, guys. Take care of yourself and let's pray for this girl, this child called Twetwe in the Eastern Cape who was raped at school. Let's protect ourselves. Yeah, I'm emotional. Okay, let's protect ourselves. Let's protect children. Let's care for children. Let's build lives for ourselves where we are going to be empowered and to be able to get justice for children. Justice for children. Have a wonderful week. Be good to yourself.